Man, I wonder if I'll ever post more than once in a week. Just doesn't seem like it's possible some days. Me, Aaron Torino, posting twice in a week? Maybe when pigs fly. That's right, guys. After just 2 days since the last video, I'm back with another one for the people. And today we're talking about this pig head that is flying through the air at a Houston rock concert. Houston's a pretty big city. From time to time, crazy things will happen. You know, a lot of artists tour through here. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of nightlife in the city. You know, the rodeo just started. There's a lot going on in the city at any given time. So for something to shock me like this, it has to be absurd. And I think that's exactly how I would describe this severed pig head being thrown into a crowd during a black metal band's concert. The video is ridiculous. Let's just go check that clip out again. It is... Man, it looks heavy. And it, even if it wasn't disgusting, can you imagine getting hit by it? It looks like it weighs a ton. It's a brick made out of pig flesh, and I mean, I'd be pissed. I'd be furious if this thing hit me. Although I will say, there are probably a lot of guys in that bar who are owed a lot of sex. Get it? Because sometimes people in old movies will say, yeah, when pigs fly, when guys try to hook up with girls. Do they say that anymore? Did they say that whenever we were kids? I feel like they didn't. I feel like by the time I was old enough to understand jokes on TV, that expression was already in the meta portion of its evolution, where every time I heard it, it was just part of a joke about pigs actually flying. But hey, clearly they're still doing it many years later, so I don't know why anybody ever said that. So let's go back to the Houston Chronicle article about it. A black metal band issued an apology after a decapitated pig head was thrown into the crowd at a Houston concert Friday, according to published reports. Now, we've seen the video. There's no need for reports. I watched that pig fly through the air. This happened at the White Swan Live. This is a venue that I've never been to personally, but I mean, it seems like there's a pretty sizable crowd in that place. Okay, let's just look up the White Swan. See, this is free publicity. You can't even be mad at them. I'm going on Facebook. Yo, is there a pig on this hat? See, man, they're loving it. So, apparently, I'm on their Facebook right now, and they are selling... I'm guessing this hat is based off of the incident. I mean, it looks pretty sick, if I'm being honest. I don't know if I'd wear it, but only at the White Swan Live. That's pretty good. I don't know, man. Let's talk about what actually happened here, and then we'll get back into this. So apparently, this concert happened earlier on in January, and this White Swan Live venue was hosting a couple of black metal bands that night. One of them happened to be Martyrdom, which I'm most familiar with as a Modern Warfare 2 perk.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
But heavy metal band works too. For whatever reason, the Houston Chronicle gives us the definition of martyr, because I guess some people are also on the same level I am. Good context, I guess. It doesn't really matter what the band's called. That's not what people are here for, but go off. Also says, although the act is well known in metal band culture, some commenters found it gross and were offended by the incident. Now, I'm on board with gross. Shows what I know about metal band culture. Clearly, I'm not a metal band enjoyer. I have not spent much time around heavy metal. And frankly, I haven't been to a ton of live shows. So, who knows? Maybe all types of stuff is getting thrown around at every concert. Taylor Swift has her friendship bracelets. These guys have a pig's head that they just like to throw around. Which, no context needed. They will provide some more for why it may also be harmful to others. I don't think I need more context. Because if I get hit with a pig head, I'm going to have a cow. Doesn't matter what ethnicity, religion, or dietary restriction I placed upon myself, I'm going to be pissed off. Because, again, we've discussed, this pig right here, flying through the air, literally looks like it weighs like 25 pounds. Like, it's like she's doing a medicine ball curl. Imagine somebody takes a medicine ball and throws it at your head, and also, it's a pig. Gross. And also, ow, oh my god. So the band apologizes. They say, we just want to start off by saying we are incredibly sorry to anyone we offended with our actions and gimmicks on stage. We are a black metal band, and part of it, we try to add a little bit of imagery and shock value to our set. Showmanship. There you go. Unfortunately, our axe has gotten carried away and way out of hand, offending many and even harming some. We want to apologize to any vegans. Insert that Scott Pilgrim vs. the World clip here. That's exactly what that is.
You once were a vegan, but now you will be gone.
Vegan?
Muslims or other minority groups who may have offended. So, really covering your bases there. Anybody else, get in on the action. And to anyone who was harmed by our act, I don't see any direct reports of people being harmed, but I can imagine that I would be harmed if a pig head slammed into me when I was not paying attention. I think that I may be harmed by that. So, in that sense, maybe there's a need to put a lid on that kind of behavior, because if I'm there to watch the show, I'm not going to be head on a swivel like, are there any pig heads around here? Didn't think so. You're not going to catch me lacking twice. So black metal is a subsection of heavy metal that is mostly described by CNN as anti-Christian, satanic, and paganistic. Like most artistic expression, I don't think that the people in these groups are satanic and paganistic. They may be, and hey, who's to say what's right and what's wrong at the end of the day? Guess we'll all find out when we die. Maybe because a pig head crashed into you at a concert. Who knows? Oftentimes, like Lil Nas X, for example, is not genuinely wanting to like twerk on Satan. It's a form of expression that oftentimes is meant to signify, I think, opposition to forces that they feel have oppressed them in their lives. Which, in Western society, in America, a lot of times that oppressive force is the Christian church. So I get why these movements spring up. That being said, this seems like it's been part of the tradition for a while. Pigs' heads are, for whatever reason, associated with this type of thing. Now, the article does mention that in some Islamic areas, I'm sure Islamic areas in the States have felt this, but people will post pig heads outside of places of worship as a way to taunt them for their not eating pork, and that's not cool. Obviously, that's the definition of a hate crime, right? That's terrorism in the sense that it's trying to evoke terror in a group. Also, people who stand for anarchy love it. People who were at Donald Trump's arraignment really love that. You know, Lord of the Flies, it's all connected. There's symbolism and imagery there. But when you're going to a concert, I don't think you're thinking about Donald Trump's arraignment or Piggy falling on that rock. Spoiler alert. Like, I don't think that that's what you're thinking of. I think you're just trying to mosh with your friends and people who like the same band as you, like any other people who mosh. And sometimes a pighead gets thrown in the mix. What can you do about it? I don't believe that Martyrdom brought this pighead in here to be like, specifically, we're going to single out the Muslims, even though our genre is anti-Christian in nature. Like, I don't know if that was their intention. I think this is just something they do, and it's a lot of fun for the people who go to these shows, and that's just what goes on there at these types of events. Again, you wouldn't find me there. I imagine they didn't slaughter the pigs solely for this purpose. Butcher shops sell pig heads, right? Like, they gotta go somewhere. Lots of pigs are killed every day in America, whether you like it or not. I feel worse and worse about it every day, but that's neither here nor there for the issue of this video. So, I don't know. Maybe there's just gotta be a way to let people know, hey, like, pig head crossing or something, like when you walk into the venue. And you can choose to stay or leave based on that. Last thing I'll note in their apology, they do apologize to the venue, but they also apologize specifically to the sound guy. So I don't know if the sound guy was himself a pig and they cut his head off and threw it around or what, but I would hate to find out what happened to the sound guy. That being said, this is just a funny story. I don't know that anything seriously drastic needs to change. It's probably not sanitary to throw a pig head around, but again, like, the whole point is sticking it to the man, right? You're not going to be able to just wag your finger and say, guys, we shouldn't do this because, I don't know, the FDA says don't get pig's blood everywhere. Right, what are they going to care? They've been doing it for years. Again, I think this is a pretty self-selecting group in and of itself. I don't think we're going to happen upon a black metal band concert anytime in your just regular day-to-day life. It seems like you probably know what you're getting into if you show up to one of these things. So if you see something like this online and you think this is like excessive and like maybe even disrespectful, I get it. I don't think that's their intention, although I know sometimes intention is irrelevant, but just I am more on the side of this is just gross and I would leave immediately. Like, I'm not like, are you kidding me? How could you do this? I think my stance is just that it's just gross and you wouldn't catch me dead there. But I'm also not that kind of person. So I'm not gonna storm the venue and demand they stop throwing pig heads around because I don't want to get hit by one. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on here real quick and talk about that because I saw that video of the pig flying through the air and oh my gosh, it's so funny. I just can't get over how dense that thing looks. I don't know, it looks like they're shot-putting a boulder. It's ridiculous. And I can't imagine being in that room and seeing that thing fly towards me. I would be terrified. So stay safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel. Make sure it's attached to your body at all times. And I'll see you guys, who knows? I may be back in 30 minutes. You never know. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.